Now, when it comes to animated films, the people that know me know I have a large appreciation for Pixar films. And when crowning a film as my favourite animated feature of all time, none of Pixar's films made the cut. But the film does have a connection to Pixar in the form of its director, Brad Bird. For Pixar, he's directed both of the Incredible films and Ratatouille, but before The Incredibles, Brad Bird brought us The Iron Giant. My first introduction to the story was through the film's influence, The Iron Man, written by Ted Hughes. Now, while the two versions carry similarities, the giant being able to put himself back together and his desire to eat metal, the book questions the Iron Man's place in the world, while the Iron Giant questions much more. What if a gun had a soul? What if it didn't want to be used for violence? How would such a thing come to that conclusion? Set in 1957, around the height of the Cold War, Sputnik and its unknown agenda rotates around the Earth. America, more paranoid than ever before. But this animation doesn't take place in Washington DC or a central hub like New York. No, this takes place in Rockdale, in the state of Maine. The Iron Giant follows Hogarth Hughes, a smart kid who's been put up a class in school, which sadly has the effect of isolating him from his classmates. Hogarth's introduction to the giant comes after discovering that something has eaten his TV antenna. Following the tracks, he finds the giant trying to take a chunk out of a power station. Going to his aid and saving the giant, Hogarth is later befriended by the Grateful Metal Man, aware of his actions from the night before. It seems as though, due to an injury, the giant has a rather bad case of amnesia. In an attempt to help the giant, Hogarth takes him in, attempting to domesticate him, unknowingly teaching him morality through comics.
Here, this guy is Superman. Sure, he's famous now, but he started off just like you. Oh, that's Atomo, the Metal Menace. He's not like you. You're a good guy. Like Superman.
While this is going on, government employee Kent Mansley has been sent in to investigate some of the giant's sightings and leftovers. After finding out his own car has been given the chomp, Mansley sets out to uncover and destroy whatever's out there.
What are we looking at here, Mr. Manley? Something big, Marv.
This unknowing threat becomes his enemy. Throughout Hogarth and the giant's journey, they come across a deer, with the giant taking note of the delicate creature.
Well, I guess he decided to...
Only moments later to come face to face with the concept of death.
Oh no. It's dead.
What caused the death and how both of these factors affect the giant. Later, the giant brings up his own morality and whether or not he has a soul and understanding death. For a lot of children, the concept of death isn't something that comes naturally. Children learn through experience, and death isn't really something you want your child to experience. Understanding through examples may be the next best thing, and animation is the perfect media through which we learn life's harder lessons. The Iron Giant doesn't shy away from death, it embraces it. It calls attention to what happens with death, why it happens, and how we choose to deal with it. The giant's time with Hogarth gives context to his part in the world and how he wants to be seen by the other residents of the town.
I'm Superman.
But the more the giant remembers his past and reason for being on Earth altogether, clashes with his desire to protect. This 1999 film was a beautiful study on morality and how we choose to live our lives, even when everybody's telling you to conform to the way they perceive you. The animation throughout encompasses beautifully drawn landscapes with attention given to motion, whether that be characters or water or so on. The giant was fully computer generated but outlined slightly crookedly as to match the hand-drawn world. Despite coming from a completely different format altogether, I see what you did there. The giant's animation starts off stiff and rigid, like a robot from a 1950s film would. But the more he learns and becomes more alive, the smoother his movements become. He shows clear emotion, giving so much more weight to the decision that he makes in the final acts of the film. For me, the story means deciding who you want to be. It doesn't matter where you've come from or how you were taught to treat others. It's what you decide to make of your life and how you'll be remembered by the ones you leave behind. Listen to the negatives and become an Atomo, or work on yourself in hopes of becoming a Superman.